Usually the summer months are pretty quiet for video game releases, but seemingly out of nowhere, August has snuck up on us, and there are a ton of bloody incredible games coming to our Xbox consoles as well as Xbox Game Pass. We are even seeing 2 games coming which were exclusive to another console, and I can't wait to dive into these brand new releases. Remember though to keep an eye out for that Xbox Game Pass icon so you know which games are coming to the service, and with that, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into the games. A massive one that I did want to start out with today is Mafia The Old Country, and I cannot bloody wait to dive into this Italian universe. Just like 2020's Mafia Definitive Edition remake, The Old Country is sporting some lovely visuals, but this time placed in a more old school rural setting in the Isles of Sicily. The remake's satisfying combat mechanics have also seemed to have made the jump over, but it did somewhat feel a little bit off for me within the gameplay trailers, but I'm sure the final game will be so much better. Driving though is also back alongside what appears to be plenty of traversal on good old horseback, which will definitely prove something of a different vibe compared to the more modern Mafia games that we've seen in recent times. The best thing that we know so far though is that this will be a linear experience, and is also one that's priced at just $50. I do love that we're seeing loads of 10 to 20 hour linear story experiences these days, and I can't wait for the 8th of August for what could be another incredible Mafia experience. I mentioned this next game in a video a few days back now, but of course it does make this list as one of the top games coming out for this August. It is called Echoes of the End, and this is a narrative adventure game that's coming from a very small development team that's actually based over in Iceland. As you may be aware though, this one really did catch my eye, as I really love third-person fantasy adventure games. This one is also placing a really large premium though on player agency, choice, and also non-linear dialogue, which to be honest, I really love to see. The story is also one that surrounds a woman called Rin, who's a seasoned fighter with a unique ability to manipulate and destroy matter. We will then be on the journey to a unique fantasy world that looks to be dense with lots of rich lore and breathtaking landscapes. Honestly, every time that I do see this game, I'm blown away with the combat and also the visuals, and I'm hoping this will be another incredible hit when it lands this August. Viewfinder, the award-winning puzzle game, is currently out on both PlayStation and PC, but is finally making its way to Xbox consoles this August, as the game strips itself for any Sony console exclusivity. Publisher Thunderful and developer Sad Owl Studios have finally announced the news alongside a new Accolades trailer, which I'm actually showing you on screen right now, and it looks to slice up bits of the game clips alongside some of the title's most positive review quotes. It's not just the reviews though that showcase how well received this game actually was though. Just taking a look at the game's Steam page shows you all you need to know. Viewfinder also took home loads of awards last year following its initial 2023 release, including Best British Game at the BAFTAs and plenty of other awards as well. If you are interested though, you can dive into this one on the 12th of August, and I do highly recommend it. I am one of those people who shell out for the latest copy of FIFA every single year, and I do contribute to that problem of the yearly cycle releases. But if you're like me and across the pond, then no doubt you might actually be excited for the next Madden game, aptly called Madden NFL 26, and it looks to arrive towards the midway point of August. I will say right out the gate though, I haven't got a clue how American football bloody works, plays, or even know how to score within these games, so I'm kind of not the right demographic for this game. However, I have done a little bit of digging for you to see what's going to be improved with this latest entry. There looks to be a major overhaul in terms of its gameplay, an update to the coaches using real world data, and also enhancements to the pitch via wear and tear, and also some overhauled weather physics. You'll have to tell me if that sounds good down below, but if you want to try it before you do buy it, there will be a 10-hour trial via your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription on the very same day. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 did release all the way back in May of last year, and rightly so, many of you have probably played this game already or have no interest in diving back into it. Well, if you do want to revisit this game or even play it for the very first time, then we are getting what's called the enhanced version on Xbox as of the 15th of August, and it will also be replacing the existing standard edition on our Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. This new edition basically gives us some more developer insight with about 4 hours of behind the scenes footage, an extensive and awesome looking photo mode, and also the long-awaited 60 FPS. But do be warned, that's only for the Xbox Series X at this time. Even so, it's a nice little package for sure, and it might be worth diving into for this August. Xbox players have long embraced the eerie charm of the Bendy franchise, and there's a new twist coming our way this August. Whilst Bendy and the Ink Machine recently got its own native Series X patch, the next chapter veers off in a completely unexpected direction. Gone is that first-person perspective, and this brand new entry actually takes a bold step into a top-down isometric territory, fusing creepy atmosphere with fast-paced action and also exploration. The story also now centers around what's called Boris the Wolf, as he tries to survive the warped and shifting halls of Jury-Ju Studios. With only a wrench in hand and danger lurking around every single corner, you'll have to scavenge, strategize, and uncover the inky horrors that's buried within. It's shaping up to be a thrilling ride for sure, even if it's not my typical sort of go-to experience. But yes, it does hit every Xbox console on the 15th of August. If the Battlefield trailer that we saw earlier today has you very excited, and I know for sure I'm bloody ecstatic for it, you can look forward to some large-scale FPS warfare and delve into Delta Force when it comes to both the Xbox Series X and S consoles this August. Of course, Delta Force has been available on both PC and mobile for quite some time, and the console launch was actually delayed quite a while ago. Finally though, we do get to experience it, and I know many on PC and mobile have essentially said this is Battlefield 2042 that we've always wanted. I do know that we're also getting the Black Hawk Down single player mode alongside the multiplayer and even the DMZ star mode as well. I have seen footage around from different Xbox creators with the insider build and it's looking pretty solid and looks great as well. I unfortunately didn't get a hold of this as it's only US based, but feedback so far was pretty positive. I can't wait, and it does land as a free to play game for all of us Xbox users on the 15th of August. If that looks incredible, then also make sure to subscribe down below for more Xbox content, as I will be uploading every single day, and I will cover most of these games in this video alongside some brand new reviews, news, exclusive updates, and so much more within the realm of Xbox. I have realised that over 76% of you have not subscribed, and it'll be a massive help just to hit that little button down below. With that out of the way though, thanks so much for the support this 2025 so far, and let's dive into the rest of the games coming this August. I know that so many of you are incredibly excited for Black Myth Wukong, and to be honest, I don't blame you, as I've also been eagerly anticipating this entry myself. Of course, this is the action RPG that came out last year and kind of exploded onto the scene, and I know many of us were actually quite disappointed that Xbox was excluded at the time due to the so-called technical issues with the Series S. I'm actually really intrigued to see how this game actually runs on the Series S, but I will have my review out for this one nearer to its launch date. I still feel all of it has to be an exclusivity deal that PlayStation has had in place, but the devs are still doubling down about the issues, but with it coming out exactly 12 months later to this day, it's quite intriguing to say the least. Moving on from that though, it is a pretty positive game, especially from everyone who's played it, and it is available to pre-order right now. You also get a lovely 20% discount prior to its launch date, so if you're happy to see it, it will be with us on the 20th of August. If you enjoy real-time strategy games just like me, there's one coming soon that should definitely be on your radar, and it's known as Grit and Valor 1949. This one was actually originally announced as a VR exclusive, but now it's getting a full flat screen release on consoles, and it's shaping up to be something pretty special. Set in a gritty dieselpunk take on post-war Europe, you'll be commanding a team of resistance mech pilots battling against their twisted Axis regime in an alternate version of World War II. The action unfolds across procedurally generated maps that spread across 4 diverse regions, challenging you to evolve your strategies on the fly. With its roguelike elements alongside some brutal boss fights and a constantly shifting battlefield, this one looks to be a real test of your tactical skill. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it plays when it launches on the 21st of August. Get ready to step back into the chaos, as Dying Light the Beast is bringing Kyle Crane back into the spotlight for the very first time, well, since his 2015 debut. Techland has mentioned that this upcoming first-person horror entry is a direct continuation of both the original Dying Light and its 2022 sequel. This time around though, the focus will shift more heavily towards story-driven gameplay, but longtime fans can breathe easy here, as the bone-crunching combat and iconic day and night mechanics are still very much intact here. This one though is set 13 years after the events in Haran, and Crane then emerges from a nightmarish period of experimentation carried out by a ruthless militia intent on weaponizing the overall infection. It's shaping up to be a real gritty and intense return to one of the most beloved zombie franchises out on the market, and you won't have to wait long either, as it arrives on the 22nd of August. As it stands, and as you may have realised so far, Hellblade 2 is the only Game Pass game arriving so far, alongside Gears of War Reloaded, and this one also lands on the 26th of August. Of course, this does mark the series' first multi-platform console release since its inception all the way back in 2006. This of course is the first game yet again getting a remaster treatment, but is now playable in 4K 60 FPS and looks to include some great quality of life changes. The multiplayer beta weekends did seem pretty popular, and for me it was still lovely to dive back into some highly populated lobbies on some of the maps from my childhood. Still, this to me is still very much a release catered for that PlayStation user base, and I just wish we got a remake of either 2 or 3 already. If you are interested in this one, or you're a Gears fan, no doubt you have a ton of fun for this August. However, launching on the very same day is the launch of Helldivers 2 on Xbox, and I'm so stupidly excited for this release that it's easily one of my most anticipated games for the latter half of this year, let alone this August. We can finally meet up with other Helldivers in crossplay and take on the waves of bugs, robots, and more that are trying to wipe out humanity. The game has of course been highly praised for its fidelity, the incredible action that occurs on screen, and the fact that the updates usually come quick and fast, which is kind of what you want to see from a live service entry. I will definitely do my part upon its release, and I can't wait to call in those lovely airstrikes for freedom and democracy. This one also marks the first PlayStation published IP on Xbox, and for me, this does signal tide shifting in terms of exclusivity. Hopefully we see some more games arrive onto Xbox soon, but are you going to be diving into Helldivers 2 when it releases on Xbox? You'll have to let me know down below. The beloved Metal Gear Solid 3 is finally arriving this August as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and it really is a faithful remake of the 2004 classic. This modernized version looks to enhance the original with its stunning visuals, updated controls, and a brand new engine, while still keeping that iconic story that we know and love, and also the gameplay intact. This of course is set during the Cold War, and you'll be stepping into the boots again of Naked Snake, sent on high stakes missions to rescue a scientist and then eliminate a major threat. Of course, the stealth mechanics here do remain central, with camouflage, environmental interactions, and also survival elements that add depth to the overall gameplay. The story, if you haven't played it before, is deeply personal, and it does focus on Snake's relationship with his mentor, the boss, and the more complexities of loyalty and betrayal. Everything that we've seen so far for this one looks bloody incredible, and it finally lands on Xbox at the end of August. A new Shinobi game was one of the 5 titles that Sega teased in its big Power Surge reveal all the way back in 2023, but finally this August, SHINOBI Art of Vengeance is coming to Xbox consoles. This is a 2D action platformer from the devs behind the fantastic brawler Streets of Rage 4, and it's looking bloody awesome. We will be playing as the legendary shinobi Joe Musashi, master of the ninja arts, and after finding your village burned to the ground and your clan turned into stone, we must set off on a quest for vengeance. The devs have also made us aware that we will have to be ready to face an unparalleled evil and avenge our clan. The combat and the platforming here is looking utterly incredible, and my jaw already hit the floor when it got teased so many months back. It looks as though we will be unleashing some cool and limitless combos with unique combat moves and some gorgeous stylizations. I'll tell you what, the 29th of August can't come quick enough, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Whilst there's no exact release date as of yet, Duckside is officially landing onto Xbox through Game Preview sometime this August, and yes, what you're seeing on screen now is exactly what it looks like. Yes, armed ducks in a full-blown survival game. This wild new title made a splash with its recent announcement, revealing a bizarre open-world PvPvE experience where you will play as a heavily armed duck, battling it out in chaotic sandbox-style warfare. Of course, as you can probably see on screen now, you can expect base building, crafting, goofy cosmetic options, and plenty of unpredictable action. You can kind of imagine it like Rust, but everyone's a duck, and the ridiculousness is fully intentional. It's one of the weirdest and most exciting indie reveals that I've personally seen in quite some time, and knowing TinyBuild is behind it just adds to the hype. Gliding through the air, scavenging gear, and blasting enemies as a duck, well, you can sign me up, and this one is one that I'm seriously looking forward to for this August. So, what game are you looking forward to playing this August? You'll have to let me know down below. Remember to smash this like button if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single day, from reviews, news, updates, coverage, and so much more within the Xbox realm. Whilst you're here though, why don't you check out my most recent video, as I covered more of the Xbox summer sale and some of these incredible deals that are under £10 to add to your backlog.